Well, welcome back, everybody, to the 990 podcast. I'm Jay.
Hey, I'm Ray.
And today we are talking goats. Goat talk.
Goat talk.
What is a goat, Ray?
Greatest of all time, to be exact.
You got it.
Yeah. When you think of goat, what's the one picture that comes up for you?
God, man, I'm going to reveal probably one of the topics here, but when I think
shoot.
of goat, the first time I heard goat,
Yeah.
honestly, I think it was Michael Jordan.
Same.
That's probably
Same.
like the quintessential. When people say goat, you think immediately of
Yeah.
Michael Jordan, right?
Yeah.
And then from there, it's kind of transcended. And, I know LL Cool J kind of coined the term GOAT. He might have actually been the first person to use that.
Did
Greatest
he?
of all time, yeah.
Is this in the song or?
Yeah. I think, I'm not sure if he has a song called GOAT, but I know he was one of the first to coin the term. But I know everybody pretty much associates GOAT talk with Michael Jordan.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
LL Cool J. Yeah.
But today we just thought we'd pick up some random topics, randomize it up, and just kind of shuffle this deck and see what we come up with. And hopefully you'll get some real reactions here because we don't really know what's going to pop up here. But
J.O. graciously wrote down with Sharpies
yeah, exactly, man.
on these note cards, which is, I think it's super cool. I told him, hey, let's get an app, but
I'm
he
old
couldn't
school,
find
baby.
one. Yeah, get that the physical
There you go.
touch. Okay.
Yeah. You cool if I flip these cards?
Yeah, let's do it, bro.
All right, man. Starting it off. First topic. All right, GOAT fashion trend.
Oh, trend. You want me to start this one?
Go ahead, brother.
The one thing that always pops up when I think of fashion, like the most quintessential one, joggers.
Okay. All right.
The first time I seen joggers, I remember one person who started it all at LCC. The first time I seen it, bro, I was like, "Yo, that's sick." He was the very first one I seen, and after that, I think like month or 2 months after, they just started popping up.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
this guy, I think his name is Mario. But yeah, when I seen it on him, I was like, "Yo, that's sick. That's
Yeah.
cool." It wasn't. It was non-existent during high school for me.
Yeah, man.
So it was only maybe in the last decade that happened.
Well, I mean, so sweatpants was always a thing, right? So
Sweatpants,
you had
yeah.
the cinch bottom sweatpants with the
Yes.
fleece, and a lot of people like the comfort of it, but they like the fit. They liked how it didn't just I don't know. I think we talk a lot about how your pants fall on your.
Oh yeah, the drape
on your
is
shoes,
different.
right?
It's
Exactly.
more for comfort.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, and I might be wrong on this, I had a couple of homies from a brand named Publish, and I believe they might have been the
Publish.
first
yeah.
to actually market the jogger trend and actually coin the term jogger.
Wow.
Shout out to Mike and Will at Publish. But that was the first time I had actually seen it. I remember it was kind of like trending as far as all the Vegas shows with all the fashion things that were
Yeah.
going to be coming out. They were the first to introduce it, and from there it just kind of blew up.
Well, for that particular style, that has to be made custom before it went to the factories, right? Like someone had to,
No,
Right?
I think they just had the idea of like, okay, let's get something that looks like sweatpants but can be more formal.
yeah.
And I think they kind of custom tailored the fit, so it was a little bit more slim, a little bit more athletic. But again, just the right length. Yeah, I think a lot of times,
Yeah.
we talked about having that short inseam. Joggers, yeah, man. Oh, most joggers are about 28, 30 inch inseams. So it's kind of the perfect length. It's actually really funny when you watch really tall guys try to pull off joggers.
Yeah, it's a
And
little
then-
too high.
Yeah, first time you actually feel like, hey, see, now you know how it
you
feels.
get it. You get it.
Yeah, reverse on that one. That's a good one, man. Fashion trend. For me, I want to say fashion trend. I think for me, GOAT would probably be workwear in general.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
yeah.
the reason why I say that is number one, accessibility, right? So,
Yeah.
workwear in general is not a very expensive product. You can get the look from Walmart. You
Yeah,
can pretty much
Dickies,
go
baby.
anywhere. Yeah, and Dickies has been around for a minute. Like
Double
Car,
knee.
yeah, exactly. Carhartt's been around for a very long time, and it's really funny. I know people have some opinions,
Sure.
that actually wear that for a living.
Oh, yeah.
and then
I
they see
get
all
it.
these nerds rocking nerds rocking Carhartt, you know, the pocket tees and the beanies and all that. They're like, bro, what do you do for work? You're like, nothing with my hands. I'll tell you that much.
The first is, do you know what a 2x4 is?
Exactly, right? Like, where's your tool belt?
Yeah. Do you use Ryobi or Milwaukee?
Exactly.
You gotta weed them out.
I know. They're like, what's that?
What's that for both?
But yeah, man, you know, workwear, it's a universal fit, man. You know, it's funny how you have something that's meant for functionality that's just kind of become a fashion trend.
I think that's what's gonna be the next huge thing, and I'm seeing it now, bro.
It's been. I feel like it's been around. And you know, again, a lot of people on the fringe were wearing it for years.
Yeah.
So you know, it's always been a fashionable item, but I think just the rise of what's kind of cool now is you look at Carhartt, work in progress. They have a separate division. It's just strictly fashion.
That's what I'm seeing with these companies now.
Yep. Dicky's got a skate line now, so they're going lifestyle.
That's smart. That's a good direction to go.
It's incredible. But you know what's really funny is now they're commanding that price point.
Oh,
yeah, man. So it's funny, right? So you got something that's normally like a $15 Carhartt tee, and now it's Carhartt work in progress. Now it's $50. And like,
Champion's doing it
exactly.
Columbia dude, Columbia's got some fire stuff right now.
Solomon, I know that's not workwear, but you just think about
that's a shoe company,
it's
right?
a shoe company. You look at all these brands that started off with a really niche segment, right? And now they're trying to market more towards the fashion focused people.
Yeah.
They're making a killing because like they realize they got a product that people want.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's my fashion trend, workwear.
It's crazy how people decide the value of your product.
Oh, definitely.
That's crazy.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next one, bro.
All right, man. Next one.
Flip.
Oh, okay. Goat weather.
Washington State.
Okay, explain.
Essentially. Just Seattle, bro.
Yeah.
I love moody stuff. I know some people, you know, every time I ask them or we have a conversation about moving somewhere and we talk about Washington, they're like, I don't know. I don't think I can handle the weather and the gloominess.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's my favorite, bro.
Dude, I'm not joking, man. Okay, so could you live in that though? I
can, yeah. I mean, well, it's hard to say. I can't imagine myself living in there because I don't know. I'm just a homebody and I like the gloominess, if that makes sense.
Okay, so I'm one of those weirdos where like I take for granted that we live here in Hawaii, right? I mean, everybody wants to get here. Everybody wants year-round summer. Let's be honest, right? And I'm one of those weirdos. I'm like, oh, it's too hot. You know what I mean? Like, I wish it would rain today. And I'm with you, man. So when I was in Oregon, Northwest, I loved it up there. I loved it. You know, I got this weird thing where I mean, I'm not a good swimmer. I don't surf or anything, so I'm rarely in the water. Never go to the beach, but I like the fact that I'm near the water. Weird, right? So I don't think I could ever be landlocked. I need to see the ocean. That's just kind of a psychological thing. Yeah. But when it comes to like goat weather for me, man, I'm thinking like San Francisco on a sunny day.
Oh yeah.
So like,
what was it, like 55, mid-50s?
Okay, so sun out. Maybe a little bit of fog in the hills. Yeah. But it's in the 50s and I'm layered. I'm layered up.
Dude, it's funny because I'm guessing this might be true for you too, but my decision is based off the fact that I can wear other clothes.
Yeah, man. Oh, for sure. Definitely. I got to bust out those Carhartt vests, you know? Like,
bust out the boots.
I know. You're like, hey, I can finally wear these Timberlands. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, in my closet, there's some nice jackets, but I never wear them out.
I know, man.
I just never wear them because it's too hot, man.
You're like, I don't need this
too hot.
down coat.
I'm not a West Side banger, so I don't have a coat. You know
what's up. You know what's up. All right, next topic. Country to visit.
Oh man, this is number one by far. Just Japan.
Hey, where are you going to be going
we're going to Japan.
You're going to Japan? Hey, what part of Japan?
It's been a minute. Just Tokyo for now.
Okay.
So the reason why we're staying in one area now versus like 6 Airbnbs, Joss, is because we have a baby now and it's hard to travel with a baby.
So no Mario Kart this time.
No.
Oh, man. Ray's got videos of him Mario Kart. I was like, this is how you see Tokyo.
Yeah. So if you don't have obligations, just explore. I would say to anyone going like traveling, just explore as much as you can. You're not going to be as nearly as mobile with something else.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm in agreement with you on this one. Japan 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, there's other countries I definitely have not visited yet that I want to see. You know, we talked about Iceland before, but
Iceland.
places that I've been, Japan, bar none.
Every time we have a trip coming up, I always suggest Japan. She's like, "Hun, we've been there." And not that she doesn't want to.
Sure.
She just, it would be nice to explore other areas.
What would be the top things that bring you back?
The top things, you know what? I think, Joe, it's the people that kind of attract me there.
Yep.
Because I don't know. I feel like I have somewhat the same values, or they kind of align. You know, I'm kind of quiet and reserved, and try to be respectful.
Yeah.
And I feel like those are my people in a sense.
Sure. No, yeah. It's interesting, right? So like Japan's, it's like they recognize their place in society, and even though you might be an individual, they realize that they're part of a whole, and I think they act accordingly. Where, I mean, you know, you look at countries that are technically, I don't know, maybe more of free thought.
Sure.
Yeah, you know, you kind of lose that idea of community.
Sure.
And I feel like Japan still has that, where again, you know, they're very private with their lives, their individual lives, but when it comes to just the idea of society and community, that's kind of at the forefront, right?
Right. Hey, the next time you guys go,
you
guys should check out the spots from Lost in Translation.
Bro,
that's got to be on your list, huh?
Yeah, man. I think it's the Tokyo Hyatt. I think that's where they stayed, if I'm not mistaken. But dude, you ever been Kyoto before?
Yeah,
Kyoto's that's the place, man. I love it. I love it.
I feel like it's a good mix with Osaka and Tokyo.
Yeah, well, Osaka, it's
a lot more country though. Osaka's,
But you know what's dope about it is it's like, I don't know. I mean, call me crazy, but Osaka's a little bit more laid back than Tokyo.
Oh, right? Super laid back. Yeah,
and then it kind of reminds me a little bit more of an American city, somewhat. It's kind of a younger, you know, like the vibe out there is a little bit more, you know, like I don't know, from the little that I spent in Osaka. I know that you know, they got a nightlife out there. I know the food's great out there.
Yeah. There's kind of like their own, not own culture, but there's a vibe out there.
Yeah,
there's
sure,
a vibe out there.
I remember we went with a tour, and then the tour guy was just like, "This is kind of like the seedier part of Japan." I'm like, "Word, like this place is like super dope. It's like nice, you know, like I don't know. It's just funny. They talk about like Yokohama and Osaka, and kind of being a little bit more seedy, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Have you ever been to Los Angeles, California? Yeah. All right. We're in agreement with that one.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That was yours too. Okay. Solid.
All right. Let me go with greatest meme.
Shoot. You want to start this one off?
Yeah, man. Okay.
What's yours?
There's a couple, right? So if I had to think about like recent ones, the Spider-Man meme, dude. Just the pointing.
That's iconic. That one's iconic.
Yeah. And you know, you saw the last Spider-Man movie with Andrew and Toby? Yeah. The three Spider-Man?
No.
You didn't see
I
it?
seen the clip of Toby coming into, and he's like, "Oh, yeah."
There's a scene where they do it. They actually do the meme where they're like, "What?
Oh,
Peter,"
gotcha,
and it was funny because it just goes to show like how culturally relevant memes have become.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You ever use memes to communicate?
I feel like that's every relationship's communication thing.
You
just send memes all day. It's funny because I send memes that I feel like I would be judged if people.
Sure. I hear you, man. I hear you. I'm all like, is this work appropriate? Probably not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I know. You're like, what? I sent that to the wrong group chat, damn it.
Yeah. Oh, that's the worst. That's scary.
Yeah. Do you have one?
Yeah, mine's. I always come back to this one, and it's like a comic strip, and there's like like a short panel on the top, the photo on the middle, and then the text on the bottom. So the top says, they hated Jesus. And on the bottom text it says they hated him because he told the truth. Okay. And there's a silhouette of Jesus like on the back end, and you can see the Pharisee. You can see the Pharisees like with a mad face.
Yeah.
And Jesus is saying, bike is short for Bikel.
That's great.
And the Pharisee
Yeah.
said, "Shut up."
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
I always come
Yeah.
back to that one.
That
but
one's funny.
That one's hilarious.
I just like how like you can just have one picture and then like you can do 1,000
Multiple
memes,
things,
right?
yeah.
Like the Kermit the Frog with the
Oh yeah.
the hood.
That's another iconic.
That one is great.
Yeah.
That one's really
Yeah.
good. I don't know, man.
one
You know,
is good.
like I'm trying to think of another one. It's not really a meme. I talked about the gif of Kanye just shrugging though. There's so many things you can do with
Oh
that.
yeah. It's crazy how there's so many creative people out there.
There are, and you know, yeah. I mean, it's like its own brand of comedy, right?
Right.
Because it can be something where it's completely relatable, or it's something where you like maybe only I think is funny, and then
Yeah.
other people are like, actually, that's really funny.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like that's what I love about meme culture. You know, like I have a couple of friends that are really good at it. That they post. That's all they post on Instagram, basically memes. Yeah.
There's a funny story on when memes first started coming out. I didn't know what it was, and it was just like pictures of these things and comics, whatever it was. And I was telling my friend, my other friend JJ, he's like, "Oh, did you see that Mimi?" He's like, "What are you talking about?" Like, "Oh, meme, you mean?" I was like, "Oh, I guess, yeah,
Yeah.
but I called it Mimi before.
Meme. Oh, okay. So is it GIF or is it GIF?
I don't know.
I don't
There's
know.
always a debate, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Please comment below.
Yeah. Comment below what
Yeah,
your
yeah.
preference is, I guess.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right, let's move on to the next
All right,
one.
bro. Let's see. Food genre. Ooh. Battle that one out.
I'll start with this one. Korean. I'd say Korean.
Okay. Korean
Yeah, yeah.
barbecue or like what kind of Korean?
Just Korean.
Gotcha.
Korean barbecue. And the main reason why is I love Filipino food. I
Yep.
grew up on that. I have favorite Filipino. My favorite food is Filipino.
Okay.
But I think this is one of the things where like, I feel like,
I got you.
But Korean food, it's there's individual pieces.
Yeah, you like the banchan? Like you like how they have Yeah.
those, and it's easy to eat. So I think we talked about this, where in Filipino culture, a lot of their food are made batch made,
Right.
Because it
For the
feeds more
family.
people.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
got it.
yeah. So a lot of it is very saucy.
Gotcha.
It's not portioned out. It's one big pot and a lot of soups or
Yeah.
that kind of thing. And sometimes that might be messy, or
Sure.
it's like high cholesterol.
Yeah,
I mean, what foods are not?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Korean, it's just, I think what comes with it, why I think it's one of the goats, is because it brings people together too.
Yeah.
Korean barbecue, you just call up some friends maybe and then tell them meet up or whatever.
You know, it's so
Yeah.
funny that you mentioned that. It really 100% is the best like gathering as far as like you think about Korean and you think
Social
about like
gathering.
just social
Yeah.
gathering, drinking culture.
Yes.
The best drinking food ever, right? If you go
Yeah.
yakiniku, you're just pounding beers and just eating meat.
Yeah. And
Pause.
yeah. And it's continuous. So it's,
Yeah.
you know what
Oh,
I mean?
man.
Like there's no stops. Like you don't have to stop. You can keep going.
All you can eat meat buffet is wild. Like if you think about it, like number one from a cost efficiency standpoint, like how are you
Yeah.
making money in Hawaii because these Kanakas can eat? Like, dude. But aside from that though, it's just a social thing. You got people
Yep.
cooking and you got people pouring drinks and. Just something about like just being able to eat and drink. You can kind of absorb the liquor a little bit more. So you're right.
Yep.
You can go all night with that.
Have conversations.
Yeah, yeah.
What's your favorite all you can eat?
Oh gosh, man.
You have one off the top of your head?
You're gonna have to help me. Like I'm trying to think. I just went to. I don't want to name restaurants. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. I went to a chain one and I wasn't very impressed. Yeah.
With the service or with?
No, just in general. Like I think the cuts weren't that good, and then like the banchan wasn't that great, and yeah, the service was okay, but it was just kind of spotty because they were just servicing so many people. Shout out to our boy Sam. His mom. He took me and a couple of our friends to his mom's restaurant.
Oh, sick.
Name is escaping me at the moment, and I'll plug that in another time. But we did yakiniku over there. That was awesome. So I think hole in the wall Korean restaurants always going to be the best for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one in what's that Walmart in town? What street is that, bro?
I know.
Keomoku?
Yeah,
Is that Keomoku?
Yeah, yep.
There's a Korean restaurant, and they had a tree in the middle.
In the middle. Oh, interesting.
And then they just had chairs and stuff all around.
What?
And they had
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah. It's behind. It was like there's a market,
it's
right?
Yeah. That's
I know, man.
That was one of our favorites.
That was a good one. That's a really good one.
We heard though that, and this was like maybe 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, that we had some insides from the server that
Yep.
they had plans to break down that whole area and
It's
build.
gone, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
I know. We were
gone.
so sad. We were so sad.
Sorbo, all those restaurants
spot.
are gone. Like,
Yeah.
it's Keomoku, but everybody calls it
Kiyomoku.
Koryomoku, right?
Oh, is that what?
Yeah, it was that
I don't know,
strip,
I'm not a
man.
townie, that's
yeah,
why-
dude,
yeah.
it was that strip, and it's great food. It's kind of sad, kind of just building up all these high rises right now. But
Yeah.
I was in town a little while ago, and then just looked on that corner, and yeah, like Sorbo is gone and everything.
So this is what I'm talking about when like the essence of Hawaii is being like removed.
For sure.
It's like memories that you grew up with places in Hawaii that that you just have like core memories or built-in memories,
Oh,
right?
dude.
When they remove it, like, it's like what makes this high rise different from the
Yeah,
mainland?
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? So
yeah.
what are our kids gonna grow up to or
Yeah.
whatever it is?
Yeah.
And it's like, dang, Hawaii's just not the same anymore. Yeah, so that
No,
I'll never let go this way.
I know, man. I was just thinking about it. I was like, a long time ago, I got the shit beat out of me in one of these parking lots.
Oh,
And I was
dang.
like, hey, man.
Come on, man. Story time with J.O.
Nah, man. Well, it was just a horrible parking lot. Food was great, and the night didn't end up too great. Back in my punk days. That's another story, another time.
Another episode. That's
yeah. Moving on.
Moving on.
Goat alcohol. Speaking of drunken nights and drunken fights.
Okay, man. Let me ask you: Is is Di Serono an alcohol?
Yes, it is.
That's my top one, bro.
I'm only laughing. That's such a
my
such
top
an obscure like choice, and I love that you said that because it's delicious. Let's be honest, it is, right? What do you mix it? What do you mix it with?
Bro, I don't know if you remember the gentleman's drink at our Joss and I's wedding.
yeah.
Was Di Serono and Sprite.
No kidding.
That's my favorite drink of
it's
all
a great.
time.
It's a delicious
Guys,
drink.
Di Serono and Sprite.
I
Just
know.
try it out. I'm telling you. I
don't
could
know
drink
how
that for
it-
days, yo. I love that.
But have you ever gone to the bar and be like, "Can I get a Di Serono?"
No,
and Sprite?"
because it's expensive.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
they're like, they're charging me for the same thing as like a whiskey.
I
Come
know,
on,
man.
fam.
I know. Okay,
Right now, I would. So in my in Joss and I's cabinets
Yeah.
of drinks, we have. I think it's a rye from Costco.
Okay.
We have Suntory, which I do like.
Yep,
Suntory.
yep. Suntory's good.
And we have like this highball or some of those cinnamon. What do you call? Oh no, I'm sorry.
schnapps?
The skewer. Sorry,
Oh.
skewer. The skewer balls.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like those chocolatey.
There's the peanut butter one, right?
Yeah. That's the one.
Yeah.
And we have a Johnny Walker Blue.
Okay.
I would gladly trade all of them for a couple bottles of Di Serono, bro.
Serono?
I would
Gotcha,
gladly trade them. Yeah, Di Serono Sprite, guys.
Okay.
Don't sleep.
Hey man.
All right, Joe, hit me up.
Goat alcohol. I mean, I'm gonna go classic and just say whiskey in general.
Particular?
I mean, if you want to get into it, yeah, of course, like you talk about goat, like hibiki, probably hard to get your hands on them.
Yeah.
Expensive, rare, obviously. I am realizing I'm by no means a connoisseur, but I am realizing that, the more expensive the bottle, typically it's a little bit better tasting and smoother.
Sure,
I mean,
yeah.
like just like any alcohol, right? You have your low grade stuff and you got your high grade stuff.
Yeah.
I've been pretty fortunate to be able to taste some of the good stuff, but what I can afford is pretty much middle range there, right? It's interesting though. A lot of the American whiskey companies are collaborating with Japanese whiskey.
I mean, they know where the premium stuff is, I
man.
guess.
Dewar's
Yeah.
just is doing one right now, and you can get it at like Costco, Sam's Club for like $25-$30, and it's actually a decent whiskey. But yeah, man, just in general, I don't know. I'm one of those guys that just kind of falls into trends. I know for a minute. That was what everybody was drinking, right?
Yeah.
Like, they were just kind of hyping on whiskey, jumped on the whiskey train. I prior to that, I drank pretty much clear alcohol, so like your vodkas and stuff, but they're not really sipping drinks. You gotta kind of mix it with stuff. Whiskey, you can sip on, and let's be honest, some of it is crap, some of it is really good.
Sure,
But
yeah.
you can kind of taste the difference. But
Yeah.
that's kind of where I've been, just on that brown for a minute. Yeah.
I don't know, when I started drinking, and this was after maybe like mid-20s I started drinking. And when I started drinking like hard stuff like that, I didn't know how to rate it.
Yeah.
So in my mind, it was just like if it went down smooth, then
Yeah.
it was good.
Yeah.
I mean, is that a general
I think
consensus?
so.
or-
And it's funny, right? Because sometimes goat should be basically what you believe is going to be your personal preference, right? Not just what everybody else thinks it's
Sure,
going to
yeah.
be, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I think about people that can't stand whiskey but act like they like it because everybody else likes it.
We
And,
need some names, Jim.
but you can see it in their face where they're like, "Ooh." You're like, you're not enjoying this. Just give that back. You know what I mean? Like, go drink a Truly or something.
Hey, that's me. I love
Take it easy,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm not judging. That's fine. I drink
Yeah.
Trulies too. It's all good.
Yeah.
Next time you come over, we gotta have some D Serrano 7, bro. That's like, I love that you said that. It's so funny.
Bro.
I haven't heard that.
No one tries it. No one knows about it.
I've drank it multiple times, but I've never like openly ordered it before.
Oh no, I don't think anyone's gonna openly order
No,
that.
but it is not a shot. It's just so funny because it's like such a random like alcohol to choose, right?
I don't know where I learned that from.
Yeah.
But after I did, I just started stacking bottles in the fridge. Yeah.
Man. It's
Yeah.
funny, right? I mean, not to get racial here, but I feel like Southeast Asian and like Filipinos just
Yeah.
love their Henny.
Oh yeah,
Bro, that's
yeah,
just kind
green
of like
bottles.
the one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no,
yeah.
not Heineken. Not Heineken. Hennessy.
Oh, Hennessy's. I'm sorry.
Maybe a little bit of Heineken too. But
Oh.
yeah, you got to chase the Hennessy, right? But yeah, no. DJ Serrano, right? That is awesome, man. I love it. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Had to come up. GOAT athlete. That's such a loaded one, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, okay, so
Besides
we
Michael.
already addressed Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
But if I were to think just athlete in general,
Okay.
like greatest athlete,
yeah. I feel like you're thinking about someone that swims.
okay, so yeah, right. So if you're just thinking about accomplishment, you got to talk about Simone Biles and you got to talk about Michael Phelps, right? So gymnastics, Michael Phelps swimming, right?
Tiger Woods.
Tiger
as
Woods
well, yeah.
is another GOAT, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously. So
Yeah.
it'd be hard because you got to think about just the entire gamut of sports, and that's kind of unfair.
Yeah. And again, we're going back to our personal ones,
of course,
right?
Of
yeah,
course.
Yeah.
But if you were to think about like most influential across every sports genre, there's just a couple of names that pop up.
Sure.
So like,
Let's name them.
I would say Jackie Robinson. I would think Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Some people don't like to hear this name, but I love him. Mike Tyson's one of the GOATs, obviously.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods, no doubt.
Uh-huh.
Michael Jordan, now LeBron and Kobe, obviously.
Yeah.
They're in that GOAT talk.
They are. Yeah. they are.
So I'm sticking with my answer, man. I just say Michael Jordan only because of the brand and legacy that he's built. He transcends basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Jordan Brand in general, they're sponsoring all types of athletes now, and
sure.
it's become a lifestyle brand. And it's just,
Right.
You think about people that wear Jordan, they don't play basketball.
Oh yeah. 100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so that's kind of how you kind of transcended. So even though that's my answer, I think that's pretty much everybody's answer.
For GOAT,
GOAT, right?
yeah. If there was a favorite player, mine would be Derrick Rose from Chicago Bulls.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Pooh Bear. Yeah, I mean he's a Chicago kid as
You
well.
know what's wild though is how many teams he's been on, and he's just like a franchise player where he does his part. He doesn't stick out, but he does his part.
You know, I think about his mental state in terms of the transition and what happened when he tore his ACL.
Yeah.
It's like, man, when you're coined as, Chicago savior or whatever it is, maybe not to that extent, but when you've got the whole city rooting for you and then this happens and then it's like you have to switch teams or they let you go. Shoot, what does that do to your psyche? You know what I mean?
I hear you.
But again, now these days he's found a way to thrive in his position.
Yeah.
There was one.
Who's he on right now? Where's he playing?
Shoot, I don't even know, bro.
Yeah, it's been a minute, right?
It's been a minute. But there's a podcast with Jeff Teague. Jeff Teague is, I forgot. He played on several teams too, but they played in Minnesota together. This was recently. And he was talking about one of the stories about a game that they played. And Derrick Rose asked Jeff Teague, "Hey, are you playing tonight?" He's
Yeah.
like, "No, I think I'm sitting out." And Derrick Rose tells him, "Yeah, I'm going for it today. I'm going for 50."
Hey.
He's like, "50? You crazy? Like,
Yeah.
you can't, like, what is that?" And this is kind of he wasn't washed up, but he was in that phase where it's like, he's not a force to be reckoned with anymore.
Gotcha.
At least that's from my perspective, right? As the game progresses, he's making his shots and he's making these crazy things. And Jeff Teague's explaining to the pod that people just his teammates just started tearing up. Like,
Yeah.
yo, why are we tearing up?
Yeah.
Like, this is
Hey.
insane. And it's like, dang, I mean, to get to that place
Sure.
mentally and,
absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
have that mental note that I'm still,
He's resilient, man.
Yeah,
he's had the cards stacked against him. People counted him out, and he's with the Grizzlies right now.
Grizzlies guy. Oh,
He's
that's
Memphis.
right.
He's with
That's
Memphis.
right. Yeah.
So I mean, obviously, old school guy with like a lot of young players on that team.
I think
Probably
that's good
just
too
serving
because
as a leader. Yeah,
right. Because
Yeah.
especially they got John Morant, which is like reminiscent of his game
for sure.
And so that was a story. I was like, dang, that was super
Yeah.
good. Yeah, D Rose.
I'm trying to think like other goats just popping up, like Wayne Gretzky. Obviously, everybody talks about him. Hockey.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think football. Like that's so hard,
I mean, we
man.
got quarterbacks.
Well, because Brady, right? Tom Brady.
yeah.
I mean, like
That's
it's unfortunate because like the quarterback's always gonna be considered the GOAT. You're not gonna be like, oh,
right.
linebacker or like tight
Yeah.
end or whatever. Like everybody's gonna say the GOAT is Tom Brady.
Yeah,
Because but
I don't think there was a close second, but now
Patrick
Mahomes
Mahomes,
is.
man.
Yeah, I've
Hey.
seen those stats. Like,
sure.
he's coming up.
yeah,
Yep.
good one.
Go talk.
All right. Ooh, this is my realm here. GOAT director.
Oh, Derek. Okay, let me start off. I'll let you go. I'll let you go.
He always gotta like put this disclaimer anytime we talk about movies because let's be honest, this is not Ray's territory.
I don't know where I am, guys. What is this
No,
place?
but you know what? Honestly, I love that you are curious about film.
yeah.
And honestly, I've had so much fun talking to you about it.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I love learning, bro.
I'm
It's
flattered to like that you actually watch some of the movies that I suggest. I'm really flattered.
Oh no, there's like solid suggestions. I just don't have time to find
Hey man, I get you.
all the movies that I've
Yeah.
watched that you've recommended. It was during washing dishes, bro.
Oh, hey man, yeah. Some of these you gotta kind of sit and analyze. Like a lot of the Nolan stuff, you gotta sit and analyze. But
yeah. So fill in the gaps for me when I
yeah.
say these directors. There's
Yeah.
only two that come up to me.
okay, well, who are you two then? Who would you say?
Spielberg
Okay, good.
and now Tarantino.
okay, yeah.
And Tarantino, well, so I was thinking this when we're looking up these topics, but I was like, okay, Spielberg, do I like him as a director because of the content of the movies and how it was made, or is it because it was in front of me, meaning
Yes.
I've seen it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he's made a ton of movies that
Yeah.
that people see. Is it just because I've seen it, or is it actually because of the movie that you know what I
Sure,
mean?
sure.
So that's a question I have.
Yeah.
The second one with Tarantino is just the flow, because I know he writes too, yeah. And I know just the flow of things,
Yeah.
and the flow of the movie, how it goes. That's kind of like my thing.
Tarantino,
With Tarantino.
I feel like okay, so I know a lot of people you either love it, he's polarizing, you either love it or you don't. But I think what he does very uniquely is he's basically kind of created like a long form sitcom. So he writes almost like a television show, but he does it in a 2 to 3 hour format.
That's funny you say that.
Right? Because it's very episodic, right? The way he does things. And you're like, man, this actually would feel like a television show if you put it down at 30
It's
minutes.
funny you say that because I think of when I talk about flow,
Yeah.
I talk about how the story progresses
Yeah.
in such intricate ways where one thing connects
Yeah.
and I think of sitcoms or like Korean drama.
Sure.
Korean drama, there's like 12 episodes
Yeah.
per for the whole thing, and each one's like an hour long.
Right.
But then it's a long progression.
It could be a movie, right? It'd be a
could-
12-hour movie.
A
if you
12-hour
want to.
movie.
Yeah.
But it's funny you say that because I feel like that's how Tarantino does
Yeah.
it. He condenses that, but
Yeah.
still has those moments.
Yeah.
So
and
that's
I mean-
cool you said that.
And like he writes it like obviously there's a lot of violence, but if you look at there's a huge comedy element in all of his movies. It's very comedic. He's very witty. The dialogue is
yeah.
very funny. If you listen to what they're saying. So yeah, man, he's definitely up there. I think it's hard because if I were to think about like greatest of all time, I gotta say Scorsese.
Gotcha.
Only because of the classics, right? But if I were to say my favorite, it's Christopher Nolan. And that's kind of hard because Tarantino's up there, but Christopher Nolan, to me, what he's put out, he hasn't missed. You can argue the same with Tarantino, but Tarantino is kind of capping. He's tried to create this. I think he wanted to have a 10 list movie run, and that was it. And he wants to retire after that. So again, he's gonna do his 10th and final movie. Out of the 10, out of the 9 so far, even though I can't recall all the names right off rip, I want to say there's only 2 that I didn't like as much as the others, but the others for the most part are pretty consistent. But with Christopher Nolan, I feel like he's just on an upward escalation where he's not stopping anytime soon, and every movie he comes up with, it's just progressively
bangers.
better. Some people kind of had opinions on Tenet, but then he followed that up with Oppenheimer, and I was like, blown. You know what I mean? Mind blown. It was crazy. But he's done some of my favorite movies like Interstellar and Inception, man.
Yeah.
Bangers.
Yeah.
So
going back to the first director you mentioned, Scorsese's.
Yeah.
What's his titles, famous titles that
okay,
he did?
so the modern one is, of course, Killers of the Flower Moon. He just did The Wolf of Wall Street.
Did you watch Killers of the Flower?
I did.
How did you like
really
it?
Good, really good. It's
yeah,
long.
that's one.
It's long and uncomfortable. It's not an easy watch. The subject matter, I think it's very important, but it's a really ugly part of history because it really happened.
Yeah,
and they don't really gloss over a lot of that. I'm glad that they don't gloss over it. They really look at what Americans did to the indigenous people, and it's really disgusting and disturbing. So they really put that out there, and I'm glad that they told that story. I think that Oscars, it's going to be tough because I'm pretty sure Emma Stone's going to win for Poor Things, but I think Lily Gladstone is the one that I want to win, and she was the main lead in Killers of the Flower Moon. She's a phenomenal actress.
What else Scorsese got on his?
Goodfellas. Goodfellas is probably one of the ones that people really know. That's kind of on everybody's favorites list. But he's also done. He's done a lot of things with Leonardo DiCaprio. But yeah, man, Departed. Did you see Departed? Yeah. But I would say if you you can dig into his older stuff, but if you talk about quintessential Scorsese, Goodfellas is probably the one that pops up the most. Yeah.
There's another, because when I think of Scorsese, I think about the Mob or whatever, right?
Yep.
Is it Francis
Ford Coppola?
Yep. Yeah. What did he make again?
Godfather.
Okay, yeah, he made Godfather.
Yep.
Okay. Because those are 2 guys I'm like, okay, when I think about mob stuff,
Sure. I mean, and nobody does it better, right? Where I mean, mob movies, it's an entire genre in itself. But what these guys have done was they take the crime element and again they humanize it. They make it relatable. They tell the stories of the people behind it, their families, how not only how they affect their communities, but how they. There's 2 sides to every coin, right? So I think that's why I like the way that they tell the stories, where they really focus on the human element of crime.
Right. Yeah.
But what I do like about Scorsese is he's kind of broken free from that. I think a lot of the movies he's doing now, especially when he did Wolf of Wall Street, it was just kind of straight up borderline just comedy, honestly. Have you seen it?
Yeah. I've seen clips of it. Yeah.
It's a wild movie, but Leo should have won for that, not The Revenant. That was a better movie.
The Revenant was good too.
The Revenant was good.
But
I mean, if you don't win for getting mauled by a bear, something's wrong, right? It's a story of survival.
Who was that directed by? Was it the brother? Was it 2 brothers?
No, man. Dude. Alejandro something. I think it's escaping me, but
let me pull it up. 2015 it came out.
Yep.
Western action, DiCaprio. Yeah, Alejandro Gonzalez Inarritu. Is that how it is?
Yeah. Okay, got you.
It's who's that dude?
Hey, man. What has he done lately? More importantly, what's that bear up to? That's the same bear in Cocaine Bear, yeah?
Did he ever get recasted again?
No. He's out in the woods doing cocaine. All right, moving on to the next one.
Moving on.
Ooh, goat car.
Oh.
Okay, wait, before we answer that, if you had to pick
clarify.
a goat car brand before we talk about car, and your car model doesn't have to fall within the brand. What's the goat car brand?
Oh man, this comes strictly from experience.
Hey man, that's fine.
Vote V-Dub, bro.
V-Dub? Okay.
V-Dub.
Yeah, man. Got you.
How about you? Goat brand.
Brand. Okay, I gotta go with Honda. My family. So, growing up in Hawaii,
Okay.
you're either a Honda family or a Toyota family.
Okay.
So my wife is a Toyota family. She hates Hondas. She like
Really?
anytime she's in my car, all she does is just talk crap, and I'm
Oh,
like, "Yo,
man.
what?"
Battle of the Asians.
Exactly. So it's funny. She's she's got a RAV4 and I got a HRV. So, again, 3-letter cars here, but
Yeah.
it's just funny. It's just a difference of opinion. But if you look at both cars, they last forever.
Longevity, man.
Bro,
Those are the two top.
It's
yeah.
bang for the buck. You
Yeah.
talk about a good car that's just efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say, just in general, Honda, man. I mean, I know again, Hawaii is all about their Tacomas, so I've never owned a Toyota. I'm not opposed to it at all, but I just grew up owning Hondas,
You're not opposed to next week. I see other freaking
bro. I know.
Tacoma out there.
Yeah, that's Tristan's dream car.
Really?
A truck, and I'm like, you get that
A truck?
then-
Did you, like a specific one or
Tacoma.
Tacoma?
Well, I think between a 4Runner and a Tacoma, she would rather have a Tacoma, and I'm like, dude, like, you get that car, and
Hey,
you get
man.
that truck, then everybody's gonna ask them to move their couch in bed, right?
That's true. Well, where are you gonna put your lawnmower, Jo?
I know, man. I know. Got a lot of lava line that bad boy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. That's my answer. Honda V-Dub. I owned a V-Dub before.
I know.
I
Talk
had a
about
Golf.
it.
I had a Golf. I had a what year was it? I had an '02 Golf.
Mm.
And I got it brand new when I first moved to Oahu.
Hey,
So I
brand
thought
new.
I was the shit, but
Did that give you problems?
You know what? No, yes and no. Okay,
Mm,
so the car lasted 11 years. I ran that thing to the ground, but internally, everything fell apart. Like
Yeah.
my ceiling was sagging,
Bro.
like my door handle broke.
Yep.
Like everything, every surface layer of things started cracking and wearing
Yep,
away.
yep.
Like it's not meant to last that long.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
this is like the baseline Golf. It was no frills type of thing.
Yeah.
But it ran.
Yeah.
I love the look of it. It's a fun car.
Yeah,
You know, deceivingly spacious.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, that was like over 20 years ago. So I'm thinking like, if I got one now, I'm sure the quality control has upped. I would hope.
Hopefully.
I will. Your current car, you guys loving it?
Well, yeah. So for me, GOAT would be V-Dubs. And one of the reasons why is, one, I've seen photos of my parents owned a buggy back
Yeah.
in the Philippines,
Okay.
an orange one.
Dope.
They would take me in the car if I couldn't fall asleep. They would take me on a car ride.
Yeah.
And wait till I fall asleep while
Got
we
it.
ride. And I seen photos of it back in the day. Fast forward to like my childhood days in church, all the older kids, the
Yeah.
older boys, all had V-Dubs, bro.
Really?
All of them. Yeah, I'm talking like GTIs,
Yeah.
the Vanagons or the Vans.
Yeah.
I think there were like 3 Vans at one point at the church
No
for the
way.
boys. One of my older bros, Jerry, he owned 2. He owned the Rabbits.
Okay.
And he lowered that thing like crazy.
Yeah.
Ran that to the ground. After
The
that,
Rabbit was before the Golf, right? That was pretty much the
I mean, it's the
precursor?
Golf, but they just had names
yeah,
from But actually, prior to that, he had a VR6 and so
Oh,
one of
dope.
the different engines.
Okay.
For the GTI, the GTI. What?
Is a turbo, right?
I think it's turbo. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, they're just occupied at church with V-Dubs.
They're cool looking cars, man. Like again, growing up in Hawaii, you want to be AZN, right?
Yeah.
Everybody, you got your Hondas and your Toyotas,
Yeah, it
but
was-
like V-Dubs, man.
Yeah,
the
you got the
Euros,
European. Yeah, you got the Euro scene up here
for sure.
I eventually got a Golf.
Yep, I remember that car.
A used one. Yeah, I
remember that
love
one.
that car.
Yeah.
Stick shift. But it's funny because right before warranty ended, bro,
Crapped out on you.
there was a noise that was like something loose.
Yeah.
Brought to V-Dub, and they said there's something loose in the transmission.
Oh,
And I realized I found out that it's way less hassle to replace the whole thing
Really?
versus
gotcha.
taking apart the transmission. Because transmission has like a ton of
Yeah,
parts.
yeah.
They changed the transmission,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah, the whole thing.
no way.
Yeah, I
So
got
did
so
you
lucky.
sell that for this car?
Well, no. So what happened after that? After the warranty finished, bro, things just started falling.
yeah.
Interior, like you said, interior.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Maybe the glue that they for this.
They're like, this is a 10-year glue after that.
Dunsies.
Done.
Bro, that was going down. My locks wasn't working.
Okay.
I had to.
Those remotes crap out after.
Yo, the remote. I don't know what it is,
Yeah.
bro. I had
You're
to.
there with the key unlocking the door.
Bro, at some point I had to go to the passengers
Oh, what?
to unlock, and then go around. Yo, it was bad.
That's funny, dude. That's super funny.
So we decided to donate that car because
Okay.
it was still running.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's fixable. We just
Got it.
we wouldn't spend much to whatever.
Sure.
Ended up getting another V-Dub, which we have
Hey,
now.
yeah.
The Taos. Yeah.
That's a dope car. I like
Yeah,
it.
you-
It's a nice car.
It's funny you said that it's deceivingly spacious.
Yeah.
That car is deceivingly spacious.
Yeah, because it's compact enough to park anywhere,
It's-
but you got good trunk space,
funny
right?
because the dimensions, they said it's the same as a GTI.
Oh, interesting.
The older ones.
Yeah.
So this a little
Same
longer.
chassis or platform? Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
same size.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Got it.
So it's small, but the interior is just
That's
so
cool.
spacious.
That's cool.
Yeah, I tell everyone about it. Yeah.
Nice,
We'll just see
man.
how long it lasts.
Yeah. Did you? Okay, so going deeper, did you have a favorite car? Like, do you have a goat car growing up?
Aside from the GTIs, man, I've always wanted a WRX hatch.
Oh, good one.
Yeah.
Not the new one. The,
It was the hatch. They don't make the hatches anymore.
Yeah.
2010 to 2014.
Got it.
And one of the reasons why was, one, the look was insane. It still
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
The value of those don't go down. You try to look for one. It's, WRXs in general,
Yeah.
they keep their value up.
Gotcha.
But there was one time I was exiting Kapolei onto the freeway and I had my old Neon at this time. There was a turn you needed to go, and I was on, and two lanes were turning. I was on one, and there was a WRX right behind me.
Yeah.
I see it just go like speed up, and it's, kid you not, it just felt like it was on a train track.
No way.
And it just like that moment, my mind
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
"Holy crap!
Yeah.
I gotta drive this."
yeah.
Yeah. But it's funny because on Initial D,
Yeah.
Takumi has the Terreno, and he has this move where he goes into the gutter, and it just feels like it's on a train.
Initial
train
D, isn't it the Hachis though? Or
yeah, the Hachirokus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's the AE86.
Got it.
But he has this technique where he goes into the gutter,
Uh-huh.
and he just rides that, so it feels like it's attached to the.
Oh, you want it to be the DK,
Yeah.
the Drift King.
But yeah, that's when I realized, like, oh crap, WRXs are like for real.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so we know which Fast and Furious is Ray's favorite.
Bro, I've only watched this up to the second one, I think.
You never saw Tokyo Drift,
No.
brother?
I'm
Okay, another time.
After
Another-
10,
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. Another time.
yeah. Goat car for me. Let me see. I got
Goat car.
so growing up in the 80s and 90s, my dream car was a Honda Civic hatchback.
Yo, yeah.
It was because that car was probably in every single import car show.
Yeah, yeah.
like just the bubble hatch. And then as it got older, obviously I got into like Acuras and whatnot. So when I was after I graduated from college, I got my dream car. I had a 93 Integra.
Oh,
And that was my dream car. And I put a lot of money and time into that car. And it unfortunately got wrecked.
Yo,
Yeah,
I gotta see
know.
photos of this.
Yeah, man, it was a nice car. And it was funny, yeah, because like again, I think the older I got, like I was just never. I think for me, like when I think of goat cars, I think about like what's realistic for me. Again, we talked
Sure.
about personal. There's a difference between greatest of all time versus personal, but
Yeah,
for me,
yeah.
you kind of scale it based off of what is attainable.
Yeah.
So I
yeah.
think like I never was like a Lamborghini guy or a Ferrari
Oh,
guy
sure,
I
yeah.
never really saw
one.
that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
never thought about that being in my my hemisphere. So
Yeah.
I think for me the Audi A4 was probably. And it's funny, my sister and brother-in-law have a A4, like an older model, but just it's so sick. I love that car, all-wheel drive.
Yeah, bro.
Going back into movies, it's in a movie called Ronin with Robert De Niro. They drive that car and it's sick. It's just it's just a solid Euro car. And
Yeah.
I remember growing up, even though I was really into Hondas, that was probably my goat car.
You talking about the sedans?
No, just yeah, the sedan, the four door.
Okay,
the four-door,
yeah.
But the wagons are
The
sick. too.
yeah. That was a second choice.
Yeah.
For after VW.
There you go.
The Audis, yeah. I don't know why, man. I don't
German
know.
engineering,
German
man.
engineering, baby. That was funny because they were changing out one of the speakers, and the guy was like, huh, that's funny that they do it this way.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I guess it's German engineering.
man.
He said, I was like, yeah, I guess.
Throw that reverse in first. You know, like, what is happening? First time he drove that is probably different. Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
But it was pretty normal because the people around me, yeah. So it was,
Gotcha. All right, let's look at this one here. Pop star.
Oh,
That's hard. That's hard because okay, so if I gotta say what I think most people would say, would probably go to the king of pop, right? Michael Jackson.
yeah.
So great, but but like my rational and logical brain, I think like it's almost like the Michael Jackson paradox, Michael Jordan paradox, where it's like at that time when he was kind of, like when he reigned supreme, untouchable, but since that time, like, he's got a catalog that is literally like some of the greatest music of all time, obviously, but like other people have come and potentially have surpassed his achievements. Have they made better music? That's questionable, obviously,
Right.
but if I were to think about like pop stars, greatest of all time, ooh, I mean, okay, so I'd be remiss if I didn't say Beyonce is one of them.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I think that if you consider Drake a pop star, Drake, obviously his achievements, what he's done, and is still again on this run that doesn't seem to be ending anytime soon, right?
That's what I put down. Drake
would be the.
I was laughing because there's a someone said, I think it was Yazin Bey, or what's his name?
Mos Def?
Mos Def.
Yep.
He mentioned that.
That was the whole thing.
He's he's popping, and all the comments are like, yeah, he ain't lying. He's he pop.
He is pop, but you know what? There's not so pop music gets bad rap, but it's popular music.
It is,
I think at that point you kind of transcend genres, right? So you're not just doing rap, hip hop, R&B. Like a pop star is a pop star. You basically can market to the masses. But it was funny. Tristan and I, we were just talking about this the other day, and whether you like it or not, man, Taylor Swift might be the biggest pop star in the world right now.
Right now, yeah.
I don't know if that run's gonna end anytime soon, but I want to say because Rihanna's kind of taking a seat and then just kind of gone into mogul status, and Beyonce's kind of doing the same thing. Like nobody else is really messing with her musically. Like, and have you? You didn't watch the Eras Tour, yeah? The movie that came out?
No, what's
so she recorded her her LA concert and then made a movie. It's not even a documentary. She just recorded the entire concert. And the runtime's like over 2.5 hours long, and she just goes through her 15 years of music.
Interesting.
And I'm not joking, man. I'm kind of a Swiftie, I think.
Yeah.
I put it on in the background. I start cleaning house, and like I sing along a little bit.
I just want her to go back to country, bro.
Yeah. Well, you know what, man? I like that she has country roots. I like that she can play the guitar. I like that, a lot of her content has, that same sensibility, but yeah, man, she's gone pop. Her stuff's catchy. It's catchy, and again, love it or hate it, right? It's very sing along in the car type of music, right?
So that's one of the important things about being a singer songwriter.
Yeah,
is if you can create melodies, you can apply it in any different genre.
Yeah.
So it could be metal, it could be jazz or whatever. If you know how to incorporate these melodies and piece together, it's applicable for any genre. And that's one thing that's so special about Taylor Swift is she's up there with my for songwriters. GOAT songwriters, I should say. Yeah. So Swiftie, man. After 1989, I think her album, I didn't listen to like any of her new stuff.
The new stuff's catchy, man. It's good. I don't know. I'm a fan. All right. Let's see here. Ooh. Fictional character.
Yo, I thought about this one.
Okay.
My top one is freaking Aslan.
Aslan.
He's the lion from Narnia series.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. For one maybe obvious reasons.
Yeah.
He's just parallels Jesus, I guess.
Okay.
But Yeah, Narnia series is one of my favorite series growing up, and I feel like I read the whole series. There's 7 books. I feel like I read the whole thing. One of our good friends growing up, who was our friend and went to our shows and stuff. He gifted me a Narnia set, a book set.
Dope.
And so I feel like not I feel like I had to read, but that kind of prompted me to read it, and that was one of my favorite series. But there's this one line that he says, that someone said, Mr. Beaver says, when he's talking about Aslan, he's like, safe, of course he isn't safe, but he's good. He's the king, I tell you. I was like, that line was so good because yeah, like he's a lion. He's not supposed to be safe.
Yeah.
But he's a good lion though.
Gotcha.
And that reminded me of Chappelle's inductory to one of the where what his mom told him was sometimes you have to be a lion in order to be the lamb you really are.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's like the basis of a lot of what I think about. And it's the same thing with like martial arts, jiu-jitsu or whatever it might be. You learn these tools and you have to know how to essentially kill and defend in order to have this peace. Yeah. It doesn't mean you have to go do these things, use it for bad, but you have these tools to combat these things. Yeah, and when I read that
that's a good one.
Yeah, I was like, damn, that's that. When I was reminded of that line about Aslan, I was like, dang, yeah. That's my dude.
That's good, man. Oh, man. I read that. I think, okay, correct me if I'm completely off base here. Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe?
That's the first one.
Okay. Got it. I did read these books when I was younger.
Yeah. It's by C.S. Lewis, who's kind of like a big staple in the Christian community because he's written a lot of things.
Gotcha.
Mere Christianity was one of them, but cool story is that he was good friends with J.R.R. Tolkien.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
no kidding.
And they always had, not always, they were like good competitors, I guess. Yeah.
Well, what's interesting, okay, so obviously when I was young and I read it, I didn't even realize the parallels. But I think that's, I think that's good storytelling if you can put your convictions into something and have it in a place where people, I mean, I think I was too young to feel any type of any type of way, but I think it's good because it's teaching values, but it's not being heavy-handed, if that makes sense. Right?
Yeah, for
you can
sure.
put it in a fictional context.
In a fictional context,
yeah.
To remind you, there's one scene where I think his name is Edmund, or he leaves the crew to be with the witch and his team, right?
Yeah.
And he realizes like, oh crap, this is not good fun anymore. Yeah. And so Aslan talks to the witch, and he gets the witch to release him, and the kids don't know that.
Yeah.
But then at the end, you find out that he sacrificed himself for Edmund at the end or whatever it is. But yeah, that was kind of like one of the scenes I was like,
interesting,
oh,
man. Hey, this is you did your homework, man.
Narnia,
that's a good
bro.
one. That's a good one. That's a good. Okay, so my choice is completely not that thoughtful. Sorry, it's not that deep for mine. It's I did okay. So I'm just thinking of this now, and I'm probably gonna be like, oh, there's better ones, but just offhand, like, Jeremy Renner's character, Jim, also AKA Jem from The Town.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Have you seen The Town before?
Yeah, that was one of your recommended ones.
I love The Town. Love it.
Yeah.
So Ben Affleck obviously leads that movie, but Jeremy Renner as a side character, Jem, is one of the most fascinating fictional characters that I've ever come across in my years of watching movies. And I just love his character, dude, like where he's just like a layered dude, like he's got obviously, he's done a lot of bad things, his morality is very questionable, but at the same time, his loyalty is undeniable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
for sure.
There's something that's just, when you talk about brotherhood and you just look at like how these guys kind of did each other dirty, but yet that's still his ride or die. You know what I mean? Like, it's, and I just like that, even though he was like considered a villain. Yeah. He just had this loyalty about him that he wasn't about to bail on his bro, like this was his guy, this was his brother. My favorite scene in the movie, and probably one of my favorite scenes of any movie is the where he just basically tells him can't ask me any questions, but we're gonna hurt some people. And Jeremy Renner says, "Whose car are we gonna take?"
Yeah.
And that line is the most gangster line of all time. I actually have that printed in my office and framed. I have a poster of just that script and that sums it up, right?
Yeah.
No questions asked. Like,
unquestionable.
Right or die. Whether we're gonna do good or bad. Like I'm not gonna ask you need me. I'm there. And I think that's why I like this character so much, because that sense of loyalty is just it's inherent, like something that I really, really value.
I was gonna say,
in not just family but friendships. Like when you have that amount of loyalty for somebody, that they're down for the cause no matter what. Yeah.
How, when you guys did your vows,
Yep.
how
Did she remind me of Jem?
no.
Yeah.
But because I'm looking at the parallels, like
Yep.
in a marriage.
Oh, 100%.
That's what you want. Just
absolutely
unquestioned,
and I'm so lucky because that's what I have in my wife. There are things that do not make sense to her at all that I do.
Yeah.
That's just me, and I think she's gotten to the point where she knows me so well that there are things that make me tick that she might not ever understand, but that she'll support me with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love that.
I know you said the same thing with Josh, where you're like, it makes sense to me, and it might not make sense to her, but she understands that's just how I operate.
Yeah,
and that's all you can really ask for in life, right?
Just going back to the one of the recent podcasts that we did.
Yeah,
is the secret that in itself, where it's like, because this person, and accepting them for who they are.
Yeah,
is that the secret to a great relationship?
I think so.
Because it's like that loyalty.
Yeah,
and that's just that unquestionable, undeniable.
Absolutely.
Could that be it? Could that be the answer?
I think so. Well, guys, I believe we still got a whole stack of cards here, so I think we're gonna wrap this up for part 1. But we're definitely gonna have to do a part 2 on this.
Yeah, 100%.
I love this topic because we can just go anywhere with it, and this is strictly our opinions.
Yes,
but these are always fun, right?
Yeah, we gotta hear from you guys too. If you guys have if you guys heard any of the favorite ones from the list, let us know which ones your GOAT is.
All right, man. Till next time.
All right, guys.
Peace.
Peace.